Hi guys, welcome to another Yogalates with SJ class. I'm SJ and today we have a 25-minute full body home workout using only a wall. You don't need any equipment, but if you would like to use some ankle weights, if you have them, you are welcome to use those to intensify the workout. You certainly don't need any weight at all. We are going to be really burning, toning, sculpting, increasing in the metabolism, and you'll find the more you do of these workouts, the more muscle that you start to gain and the more toned the body becomes, the more that you will find all of the belly fat, all of the body fat, anything that is extra will start to burn because your metabolism will start to increase. So this is really an all-round workout, as with all of the other Yogalates with SJ workouts, under 30 minutes each day. Today's class, we are really getting into the lower body, the booty, the outer thighs, the legs, as well as the belly, sculpting and getting some abs going on, getting into the arms and just a full body. And we are also going to be having a deep stretch as well throughout the workout, so kind of more as we come towards the end of the workout today. So this is such an all-rounder, guys, for you. All right, so just taking a moment here, finding your wall, just bringing your right hand onto the wall, finding balance through both sides of the feet. But we're going to start to bend through the right knee and rolling the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders down. Just making sure you're not locking that left knee out. So keeping everything nice and soft there. You're sweeping the leg up and sweeping the leg back. So the right knee lifts up and then coming back. Trying to keep the toes lifted up the whole time so you're not touching the foot down. Finding your balance here. You can bring the left hand onto the hip. Trying not to rock around in the pelvis. So we're keeping the core engaged. You're lifting up from the pelvic floor all the way up to the top of the head. You are using your glutes and your abs to drive this movement. Beautiful. Let's switch over to the other side. So this time you're finding a nice support through that right foot. You're bending through your left knee. You can place your hand to a comfortable position on the wall here, taking a moment to set up, rolling the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders down, and then lifting the left knee up, sweeping the leg back, and then we are just starting to bring the knee all the way up, using your core to lift the leg. Exhale as you sweep the leg back. So you don't have to lift the leg too high, guys. It doesn't have to come right up. It's all about working at your own range. Every day you're going to find that you'll be able to lift the leg a little bit higher. You're going to get stronger. You are going to be feeling fitter. So really just working with where you are today. Beautiful. And then I want you to stay back. So keeping the foot back, you're just making little pulses up and down. So very small movement here. Tiny little pulses, keeping the core engaged, breathing deeply in, fully out. Foot is in a neutral, so not pointing the toes or flexing. Awesome. And then now we are going to flex the foot because we're making little donkey kicks. So the toes are pointing straight down, heel is straight back. And it's just a little sort of kick in and out. Tiny little movement here, using that smile line underneath the booty to really work and stay strong here. Now bringing the knee all the way up and releasing the leg all the way down. Switching over to the other side with those two exercises. So starting to find a sweeping of that right leg back. Shoulders are down, and then you are just lifting the toes up here, making sure you've got lots of space for the hips here. So making sure that your core is engaged, the left knee is softly bent, and then you're taking your weight into that left foot and lifting and lowering through that right foot here. So it's a very small little lift up, not bringing any tension into that low back. So making sure that your pelvis is in a neutral here. You're not sticking your butt out or tucking your butt under, you're keeping a nice neutral pelvis. Cool, little donkey kicks, guys. Let's go with that donkey kick. Toes straight down, heel is pointing straight back. All the movement is coming from that heel, and you are really bringing your mind to the muscles that we're working. You'll be able to feel them. Breathing in, breathing out, releasing the foot. Well done. Awesome. Coming to face your wall. I want you to bring your hands to where they feel comfortable. So it might be around about sort of shoulder height or even a bit wider than shoulders width apart. Just stepping back from your wall and just finding a relax of the shoulders. You're starting to do press ups. So we're starting to bend through the elbows. Elbows go straight back. Your head, the rest of your back, lower back, pelvis, everything is in one long line here. Awesome. So exhale as you press up. Inhale, lowering down with control. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, lower down. Make sure you're not locking out through those elbows as you come up, not hyperextending. Weight is even through both sides of the hands. Weight is even through both sides of the body, keeping the core engaged, so not dipping the hips down. We're keeping everything really strong and steady. Also, bringing the left back of the hand, so that left hand comes to the low back. Keeping this going with your press. So it is a one-armed press this time. It might be just a small movement, just a little press down, or you might be able to nearly bring the whole face and chest down towards the wall here. Elbow goes straight back, shoulder is away from the head, keeping your weight even through both sides of the body. Exhale as you come up, inhale as you drop down. Awesome. Switching sides. So the back of the right hand comes to the low back. Shoulder is down and away from the ears and pressing down. Cool. And pressing back out. Keeping everything in that nice long line. Neutral pelvis. Not locking the knees out. So you've got a very, very small micro bend into the knees. Exhale up. Inhale down. Awesome work. You should be able to feel this in the back of the arms, those triceps. Beautiful work. Coming up, we're just bringing the hands a little bit higher onto the wall, and we're going to take a big stretch. So just starting to press the hips back as you lower the heart center down, and then you're coming up high onto the toes and looking up towards the ceiling, and then sinking the heels back down as you press the hips back and starting to bring the heart and the head down towards the wall. So just working with what feels good here, whatever feels really nice for you. This will be different for everyone, and every day is different as well. So we're really just kind of finding almost like a little bit of a cat-cow thing going on with the wall here. Just coming up high onto the toes as you lengthen up, and then sitting down and pressing the hips back as you find a nice openness across the heart center, and really getting into those shoulders as well. Cool. And release. We're coming down to face the other way. So you are bringing your lower back to the wall. You've got to bend into your knees. We've got our feet about shoulder width apart, and you're just making sure that you've got a nice neutral pelvis here. Rolling the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders down. You can stay quite high in this squat. So we're going to do a wall sit. So you can stay high, or you can lower down onto your wall and just kind of come down into a lower squat. I just want you to make sure that those knees are not coming forward of the toes. So the knees are kind of in line with the ankles. You can have the toes slightly turned out, or you can have the toes straight ahead. We just don't want to roll the knees inward. I want you to make sure that the back of your head, the back of the shoulders, and everything is really pressing into the wall here. Core is engaged, and you are really feeling maybe even already a little bit of a burn here as you sit here into your wall. Awesome. Just taking a moment, relaxing the hands onto the legs, or bringing your hands to prayer. And we're just lifting one heel up as we lower the other heel down. So we're alternating from side to side. One heel lifts, lowers down, and then the other heel lifts, lowers down. As you do this, I really want you to stay still and stable in every other part of the body. Maybe each time you come up, you might come up a little bit higher, really feeling into the back of the calf muscle, the hamstring, lifting up, lowering down, breathing deeply, in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth, keeping the core engaged. You've got a little bit of space between the lower back and the wall here. So you've got a natural curve of the spine. Keeping a neutral pelvis. Inhale, lifting up, exhale, lowering down. Awesome. This time we're going to lift both heels, lower the heels, and then lift the toes up towards the face. So you're lifting up high onto the balls of the feet and then sinking the heels as you lift the toes up. So we're working into the front side of the legs as well as the back of the legs with this. Keeping everything else still and stable. Breathing, guys. Staying strong. You are going to get so many amazing results from this. We're working, we're burning. We are really getting toned. We are burning belly fat and body fat from the entire body. Awesome. Right, coming to standing, and you're just coming to bring your hands onto the wall, facing your wall now, and we're just lifting the right leg up, lowering it back down. So it's just a lift up, lower down, lift up, lower down. Foot is in a neutral. So you're really working into the outer thigh here, the outside of the hip, and the whole of that outside of that one side of the body. So keeping your core engaged, I want you to make sure that you really allow that core to stay fully engaged. Now we're just starting to do circles. So bringing the leg out, just circle one way, keeping it going in that one direction, little circles, and then switching direction, going back the other way. All of the movement, all of the strength is coming from that outer hip, the outer thigh, the outside of that glute. Beautiful work. And release, you guys. Well done. Awesome. Let's do the other side. So bringing your hands onto your wall, you've got your hips square to the wall. Core is engaged, shoulders are relaxed down. You're starting to bring the leg out and you're going to lower it back down with control. Really bringing your mind to the outer thigh and the inner thigh as you draw it back in. You're also drawing up from that pelvic floor all the way out the top of the head. So just lifting up as high as what you want to bring the leg. We're not bringing any tension to the lower back, so making sure all of the strength here is coming from that outside of the hip and the outer thigh and the glute. Awesome. Keeping your leg out. We're just starting to circle one direction. It's just a little circle, one direction, keeping it going, and then reversing, going back the other way. Keep it going, breathing deeply in through the nose, out the mouth or out the nose. So good. Keep that core engaged. Awesome. Coming back, lowering the leg down, bringing both feet onto your mat. Taking a moment here to set up. You can bring your hands down a little bit and just letting the hands come out a little bit wider. We're just going to start to come down into a squat and then pressing up and then bringing the toes out of that one side, dropping back down, and then the toes out on the other side. So alternating one side to the other, but we're keeping all of the weight even through the whole body the whole time, right down that center line. Even though one leg is kind of coming up and we're bringing our weight slightly over to that one side, I want you to imagine that you're keeping still everything quite central. So keeping your core engaged, you're dropping down into your squat, making sure those knees are not going forward of the toes. When you come into that squat, you are sitting back into this, almost like you're sitting down into a chair, pressing up, powering up, and letting the toes come out to the side. Beautiful work. Taking a moment here, and we are coming to face the other way. You're facing outwards from your wall, letting the left foot come forward, and you're going to bring the right foot onto your wall. Just making sure that you can find some nice balance here. Your hips are nice and still. You've got everything nice and still and stationary, and we're just starting to lower down here. So just bringing the knee to bend through that front side, lowering down, pressing back up. If it feels too much to have that right foot onto the wall, you can just bring the foot down and just be high onto the toes and just doing kind of a stationary lunge down here. This is definitely really, really challenging in this kind of more split squat with the wall. Just staying down, guys. It's pulse it up and down. You can do it. I know that it's burning probably, but that's the point. Pulsing, 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 and coming back up, power it up to standing. Awesome. Let's switch over to the other side. So just stepping out from your wall, you can reach back with that left hand. Kind of want about a arm's distance between you and the wall here. You can step the left toes or the left foot to come up onto your wall, and you can bring that right leg forward, keeping the hips nice and square to the front of the mat, bringing the hands onto the hips if you want to here. You're just dropping down, so bending through the right knee and then pressing back up to standing, not locking out through that knee. So we're just having a soft micro bend into the knee as you come up, breathing in, exhale, power back up, feeling that strength here building. Now let's drop it down into that little pulses up and down. So just tiny little pulses, breathing in, breathing out. You can do it. Staying strong. Core is activated. Beautiful. Coming up. Well done. That was a challenge. You've done so well. We're going to start to wind it down a little bit now. So just taking some time. If you do have ankle weights on, you can take those off. Just everyone coming down onto the mat and being near to your wall here. I'm going to start to really deeply stretch into every single part of the body. And just starting to come up against your wall, bringing your feet to connect with your wall. Seeing if you can bring your pelvis in as close to the wall as you can. Bring your arms down by your sides. I want you to have your feet around about hip width or even slightly wider apart, making sure those knees are tracking forward or slightly out as you press your feet into the wall, lifting the hips up, rolling the spine, coming up as high as you can, and then rolling all the way back down from the top of the spine to the base of the spine. Inhale as you come up, really, really lifting, coming up high onto the back of the shoulders and rolling back down vertebra by vertebra and releasing down. You can do another one of these. So rolling up, coming up as high as you can onto the back of those shoulders, bit of a shoulder stand, and then rolling all the way back down. Inhale, coming up, rolling up. Exhale, rolling down. Awesome. And then just allowing the legs to go long up the wall here. Relaxing the feet, toes. Just letting the arms go to wherever they want to. It might be up overhead softly, or maybe you've got your arms down by your sides. Just allowing the whole body to become a little bit heavier as you start to release and let any tension go. Just enjoying this time where essentially you're kind of halfway upside down. So just letting everything start to flow back in the opposite direction than what it usually goes. Feeling your tummy muscles relaxing. You might allow the feet to fall out to the sides, the outside of the right foot to fall right, the outside of the left foot to fall left. Just taking whatever feels good with this as you start to relax down, breathing in and breathing out. And then if it feels good, you might bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the back of the knees to fall heavy, the outer thighs, the hips to release, the sides of the feet releasing into the wall, just letting the back of the heels fall down more towards the pelvis. You're not really holding the legs here. Everything is just relaxing and opening out. Having some deeper breaths into the belly, and then exhale, sending full relaxation here through to every muscle. And then you might just start to unwind, just taking the soles of your feet onto the wall, placing them in a position that feels good. It might be hip width or shoulder width apart. Starting to gently rock the knees in one direction and then up and over the other way. Finding a really, really nice release here as you just allow maybe the head to rock from side to side as well, getting a little massage into the back of the skull, releasing any tension out of the neck, letting go of any tension out of the hips, finding a deep twist into the waist. Maybe even a little massage for the soles of the feet as they roll over the wall. For me, I have a brick wall, so it's quite a nice feeling having feet on the wall. There's a little massage there. You might stay a little bit on one side a little bit longer before moving over to the other side, finding a slightly deeper stretch through the side of the hip. Awesome. And then taking your time, starting to walk the feet down the wall. You might hug the knees in. Just taking a moment there, lengthening the tailbone down, and then crossing the right ankle just in front of the left knee and finding a figure 4 here. You can let the arms go, maybe bringing them out wide to a T shape. Maybe moving through that right foot and the toes and ankle, anything that feels really good as you ground the low back down, feeling that beautiful lengthening out and that stretch into the hip flexor. Taking a deep breath in, exhale, exhale, exhale as you release and let go. And then coming to the other side, switching over. The outside of the left knee goes in front of the right knee. Finding that nice sensation of lengthening the tailbone down. At the same time, feeling the right hip releasing, outer thigh, everything relaxing down here. Arms, awesome. We're starting to come to the very end of the workout. It's been really beautiful to have you join me for this workout today. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe to the channel, maybe turn on notifications. There'll be new classes released every Wednesday and Friday of every week. So if you subscribe, you'll be notified of those releases, and feel free to check out some of the other videos as well on the channel. There's loads more for you to enjoy at home with no equipment, full body, yoga Pilates. Have a beautiful rest of your day, whatever it is that you're doing. When you're ready, you can either come to lay down on your back, or you can come to a seated position up against your wall. Just relaxing the shoulders, allowing the arms to relax. Have a great day. Namaste.